G'day guys, Elongated Caterpillar here and welcome back to Banished. Now, we'll just jump straight on into the game and pick up where we left off. Now, just so you guys know, things are changed just a smidge. I pretty much recorded the entire episode last time, listened back to the audio, and it was still too loud. So then, I decided to re-record it. Now the only downside was that I saved the file over the game, so I couldn't actually go back in it. So what I've done is I've reset the same map, pretty much built everything almost in the exact same locations, and then we're just going to continue on from here. Now the most exciting part of that actual game was the fact that my entire village was destroyed by a tornado, and I had 6 people left. Would have been a real fun challenge to rebuild everything back from there. But I figured, you know what, I saved over the game, so I made a mistake, so let's just dive straight into it, guys. Okay, I'm just going to hide that. Alright, so, where were we? Okay, that's right, I remember now. So what we're going to focus on in this game is getting tools and clothing. So tools obviously help people build things faster. We're also going to touch on the topic of schools. Now schools also help educate people, but we'll talk more about that when we get to it. So before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a hunter's cabin. Now what that's used for is obviously they go and hunt deer. So we want to go into the food hunting cabin. Okay, and we're just going to chuck one right here. So to get leather, which is obviously used to make the basic kind of clothes, you need to hunt deer. Now, when you start off you have a surplus of clothes, but as time goes on the clothes get worn out and the villagers have to replace them, so obviously they start to dwindle. So when that's built, obviously the hunters will start hunting deer. They're just mining rocks or stone at the moment. Sorry about the lag there guys, I don't know what's going on. I think it's because I'm using fraps and it's a little bit too much for my little laptop here to handle. But anyway, so the hunters will gather that while we continue on to build the tools, because it's better to have leather already sitting there so we can start making clothes straight away. Okay, so they're going to build that. So what I'm going to do is, while they're doing that, I'm going to talk about tools. Now, tools are very simple. So imagine trying to chop down a tree without an axe. You'd maybe use like a rock or something else to do it, which obviously would take a lot longer than if you used an axe itself. So you go and click on the blacksmith. We're gonna go here. So again, because I'm playing a different, well, the same map but just a little bit different, I've shuffled things around a little bit. It's no big deal. Yeah, I guess some people's OCD is gonna go haywire, but when I put things down, generally I try to keep them around the stockpile, so that way everything generally is in the same area, so that it's sort of like a one-stop shop, so to speak. We're going to need more wood. Okay, so stone's going pretty good. Iron, we need more iron. So while everybody, get rid of that, get those people back. Now where did I see iron before? Oh, that's right, I was up here. Oh jeez, all the way up there. That's ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to go collect this iron. Bam. Hopefully, oh, I've got 7 people to go and do it. Yeah, so with tools, like I said, tools obviously help people do jobs faster. The better tools you have, down the track you can, so these are actually iron tools that you can create. Then down the track when you get a mine and things like that, you can actually create steel. So it's done in this game. It's done by using coal and iron. So coal, I think, melts the iron, or they mix it, or they I honestly don't know. I'm not a meltologist, so I don't whatever it's called, a foundry person. So anyway, they make steel. Obviously, with steel you have better tools and they last longer. I don't know whether it affects things along the lines of how much stuff they can actually carry, but again, I'm not an expert. So this icon here, they're without tools, and then you can just cycle through it. So it's going to quickly build this and get our person to start building it. Okay, so to make tools, what you need is just, the basic tools is logs and iron. Again, down here, this is your coal for later on. What was I going to mention? There was something else, something that was very important. Clothes? No. We'll just get rid of you because I don't need that there. Okay, I think I mentioned last game about the houses. So, yeah, that's right, it was about the ages. So, the way I do it is generally every year I try to add maybe 2 houses, maybe 3 or 4, depending how big my population is, and that will help increase your population. Obviously, you have a bigger population, you can get more people to do more things, and if people die, it's not such a big loss. Well, when people die, it is a big loss, obviously, but in a computer game, not so much. Alright, so let's have a quick look at these population, the people. So we got 18-year-old female, 13-year-old male, 12-year-old male. You know what? We'll build another house soon, but we need more logs before we do anything else. So, no, just freaking clear everything. Just do that. Go. Now, okay. So these guys here in the hunter's cabin have already got 12 pieces of leather, so that's going to help a lot when we move into building a tailor. They got no tools, so look at the irony, guys. You've got a blacksmith creating tools, but she hasn't got a tool to make tools with, so just a little bit of irony there for you. Oh jeez, I've got so much food already, this is ridiculous. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I've already got so much, I'll just reduce, take 2 gatherers out of the hut. There we go. Increases my base thing so I can do things a lot faster. Okay, so let's see, let's build a tailor. So, make warm clothes. So, again, in terms of starting out, you build basic clothes. So it's just leather, like a leather coat. Down the track you can actually make a combination. I believe it was wool and something else. But don't stress about that, guys, I'll show you that shortly. So one person's without tools. I haven't got a whole heap of stone. Well, you know what that means. We're going to go farming for stone. Well, digging for stone, mining stone, whatever you want to call it, guys. See, I don't have a degree in this kind of stuff, so I just sort of winging it. Alright, so I'll quickly just show you this. So you can select iron tools or steel tool, log, iron and coal. Don't know how it works, but it just does. And then what we're going to do is after this, we will build a few houses, and then we'll move on to talking about a school. Okay. Oh, geez, sorry about that, my phone just goes off. Okay, so how's our chopped firewood looking? Looking pretty good. What I'll aim to do as well is a little bit further down the game. See, we've got a base of operations here. I'll just build that. Okay, so down here's a lake, so I can build a trader down here, just build a footpath going straight down the middle. Yeah, it's around about there. And I'll build that. Maybe even build a bridge across here. It looks like a fair bit of stone and iron there. I might even, again, further down the track, this is later on, guys, I might build like a forester's lodge somewhere in the middle here, so all this will turn into trees, and then that can be like my farming trees area. I'll probably put another few hunters' cabins, not forester's lodge, gatherers' huts down here, and mine all that iron and, stone and iron. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you this. So the hide coat is just used by leather. You got the wool coat, which is obviously used by wool, where you get sheep, so when you go and you trade with a trader, you can actually get sheep, and then you just you create herds, and obviously they breed and so on and so forth, and you get bigger herds, and it just gets better from there. And then you can get warm coats, leather and wool. So if you obviously have a sheep and you have leather, why not just go for the warm wool? Okay, so we'll just pop the person in here. Let's see, so we're getting some stone. I think we were. No, we were. Weren't we? What was the trees? Jeepers creepers, what's going on here? Sorry guys, I'm just losing train of thought there. We'll just farm all these trees. Yeah, you know what? Let's just clear everything. We're not going to muck around in this one, guys. Shoomp. Okay, so now they're building clothes. Okay, so when people don't have clothes, they, when it comes to winter, obviously, imagine going out in winter. If you're in a place where it snows and you don't go out without a coat, obviously you're going to get colder a lot quicker. So best thing you can do is just rug up. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the houses a little bit more. I think I explained a little bit, but not so great in the last episode. So, as I said, in the way I do it is every few years, every year I try and put at least 2 when I start out. Again, you can click through it and have a quick look. So, boy and a girl, boy and a girl. Yeah, we can get about 2 houses. 1, 2, maybe 3 houses actually. I think that I could squeeze in 3. That'd be really good. Alright. The thing is that because I'm building stone houses and I'm very picky with the houses that I build. So we don't have enough iron. That's okay. We'll just stop building that for the time being. Yeah, because I'm very picky with the houses that I build. I prefer to just go straight to stone because it's a lot warmer, a lot more efficient. If you can start out more efficiently, then why not? Why not to do it? So we've got to go find more stone. So apparently there's stone here. Just get this. Oh, that's right. I was going to talk about schools. Okay, well while they're farming all that, yeah, I've got to get flippin' iron. There we go. We'll get that too. Okay, so a school in this game, what it does, it educates the citizens, which then become more efficient at their jobs. So I don't know how much more efficient, like whether it's 100% more efficient, 50%, whatever, but it just makes them more efficient. So, say for example, what's her name? Citizen. Shannon. Let's just call her Cheyenne. There you go, Cheyenne. Okay, so just say Cheyenne's carrying 3 pieces of iron, 2 logs. Once she has an education, if she does... Yeah, she's educated, there you go. So she can probably carry 2 different items. Again, I don't know how much it actually... Like, if there's a certain limit, so whether it's like 6 pieces of log while being educated, in comparison to a person who's uneducated being able to carry 3 pieces of log. I don't really know, but if you guys know, feel free to leave in the comments below and let me know. I'm always happy to learn something new. Okay, so yeah, so the school allows the citizens to become more educated, therefore being more efficient at their jobs. And again, I don't know whether that relates to health as well. So obviously, once they're educated, maybe they wash their hands before they eat, or maybe they wash their clothes, or something. I don't really know how in depth it goes to. I don't think it goes that far in. But it's definitely an option. Okay, so in terms of other food sources, you don't have to just go with a gatherer's hut. What you can do, obviously have a look around. So gatherer's hut, so hunting cabin, you got a fishing dock. The fishing dock I find doesn't supply enough food to feed everybody. There was one game when I first started out, I was like, yeah, fishing dock, let's just build that and we'll go from there. And I thought one fishing dock would supply like my entire population at the very start. It didn't. It couldn't keep up at all. You had to build like 3 fishing docks. But that's why That's why I build a multitude of things. Gives people a bit of a varied diet. Okay, so in terms of moving on to health of citizens, obviously that relates to I believe it's got to do with their types of food that they eat. So obviously if they're just eating meat or just vegetables, it may not improve their health. However, it also relates to the cleanliness and things like that. So say for example, you build a mine, wherever the mine is. I think it was in resources. There we go. So you build a quarry or a mine. A mine you build in the side of a mountain. A quarry is just like a giant hole in the ground where they dig. If you build the mine right here, people are going to get sick, which obviously would decrease their health. And then obviously that's when sickness would set in. So obviously to minimize that, you build the quarry or mine away from your civilizations or your houses and people. another way to combat it is to build a herbalist. Herbalist gathers herbs and provides simple health and healing for citizens. So if they've got a bit of a sniffly nose or whatever, they can get some herbs from the herbalist. But again, I don't really know. I've only built maybe 1 or 2 of those, and I've only ever needed to put 1 person in there. I think you could put 2. I mean, a herbalist can do, I think at one stage I have about 60 citizens. 1 person as a herbalist did all those 60 people. Even then, I had so many herbs, but it was ridiculous. Okay, let's see. So we got yep. So what these people are going to do now, obviously, they're going to start having children, and it's going to be fun times all around. Okay, so we're going to start mining a bit more stone. We're going to need a heap for this school. Man, that's not enough. Oh yeah, oh there you go, plenty right there. Jeez. Okay, come on. So this is around about the time when the tornado set in. It just went from here all the way across, knocked out virtually every single house I had, and all my guys were like mining this area down here. So this tornado started here, wiped out all these guys, came up here, wiped out most of these buildings. I think the only one I had left was my storage barn. No, my storage barn was gone because I had no food. That's right, my storage barn was gone. I had stockpiles, so I had wood and stuff like that. My blacksmith was gone. My tailor was gone. All but 3 of my houses were gone, and it was horrible. Like I said, it would have been a real good challenge to rebuild it up from that, but I figured, you know what, there's no point putting up an episode if you guys can't hear what I'm saying. So looking at the food, yeah. So we got 2,000 still. Maybe I'll take 1 more away from that. So we're going to start building a school. So 50 wood. 16 stone. That's not much. Well, no complaints here. Start building my little minions. Let's see if I can build any more houses for people. Oh, boy and a girl. Possibly build 1 more house, but the thing is, if you build too many houses too quickly and you don't create enough places to gather food from, such as gatherers' huts, hunting cabins, fishing docks and things like that, to keep up with the increasing population, your food drops down dramatically, and then you're sort of chasing your tail trying to catch back up and increase the level of food for your citizens. So it's, I guess you just got to get the balance right. You don't want to build too many houses, because then your population will increase and your food level will decrease. So it's, if you could do a graph, that goes down, that goes up, and you're screwed. And they sort of start leveling out if you can't. Like if you haven't got enough people to get resources and you've got too much stuff going on, then you're screwed. Okay, so a school uses 1 person to obviously teach others. Just put a person in there. Awesome. Okay, and there we go. So that's pretty much it for that. We'll just quickly finish building this other house, and we're going to quickly get some people to deforest. Just clear everything there. Why not? Because I can. Gonna get plenty of resources from that. Okay, how many people? Sweet. Alright then guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this episode here. If you have any comments, questions, queries, feel free to leave them down below. But if you also like the video, hit the like button as well. Alright then guys, well be safe and I'll see you in the next video.